Coming to you from the Lydia Media Studios in the heart of Lewiston, Auburn, it's Lydia's Lunch Bunch, LA's afternoon morning show with Mark and Pam. We're covering news and events in the greater LA area and talking to the people making a difference in our community. Feel free to share your comments, questions, or suggestions via email at podcast@lydiamediallc.com.
Today's show is brought to you by Ruper's Beverage and Redemption. When it comes to beer, wine, and spirits, don't botch it, squatch it. At 4 locations in Lewiston, Auburn, and Oxford. Learn more at rupersbeverage.com, and remember, the party starts at Ruper's.
It is Manufacturers Week here on the podcast, and today we have the pleasure of being joined in studio by the Director of Operations for Panolam Surface Systems, Steve Thurlow. How you doing, Steve?
Doing well. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Looking forward to it.
And your first podcast.
And absolutely my first podcast. It should be very interesting.
All right. Making some history here this morning.
Absolutely.
We love it. We're going to talk to Steve all about Panolam coming up here in just a bit. But before we get there, let's take a look at some headlines for Wednesday, August 19th.
A plan by President Trump to let foreign countries build U.S. warships is being criticized by BAW shipbuilders and Maine's congressional delegation. Representative Jared Golden said this administration appears to be bound and determined to send American shipbuilding jobs overseas and sell American shipyards to foreign corporations. Senator Angus King called it the worst idea since the Red Sox traded Babe Ruth to the Yankees.
The Auburn City Council voted unanimously to appropriate $125,000 to help furnish the Hampshire Commons Project, which provides affordable housing for individuals experiencing chronic homelessness. The project will provide permanent housing for 32 individuals in the Lewiston-Auburn area. Construction is expected to begin in the spring of 2027.
Lewiston Public Works will repaint parking spaces on Lisbon Street from Maple to Main Streets this week. There will be no parking on the left side of Lisbon Street tomorrow from midnight to 7 a.m. and on the right side Friday. The city is asking residents to move vehicles before work begins so crews can complete the project safely and efficiently.
And a program that provides direct cash assistance to working single mothers in Androscoggin, Cumberland, and York counties is set to expand with an anonymous $1.5 million donation. The nonprofit Project Home said it will soon be able to serve 100 mothers and their children annually for the next 3 years, roughly doubling its current capacity.
Wow.
Now it's time for the weather.
Rain or shine, it's all okay. Grab your uke and start the day. You don't need perfect skies above. Hey, just a song and a little love.
Mostly sunny today with a high of 81 and a low of 61. A sunny start tomorrow before afternoon clouds roll in. High of 80 and a low of 62. Sunshine on Friday with a high of 81 and a low of 58.
In sports, Adley Rutschman homered and drove in 3 runs to lead the Red Sox over the Arizona Diamondbacks 9-4.
About time we were getting a little nervous.
Yes, we'd been talking about that. We were wondering.
Oh, with the Sox?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're telling me. It was like
that guy was like 0 for 17 and
right.
couldn't hit his way out of a wet paper bag. Starting to get a little frustrated with it.
Now he's getting comfortable.
Yeah, that's right.
I think we're in good shape.
You shook it off.
The Sox and D-backs will play again today at 4 p.m. at Fenway Park. Peyton Tolley gets the start for Boston. That is your news, weather, and sports. And right now it's time for the podcast segment that is sweeping the Twin Cities. It's time for famous people birthdays.
They're famous. It's their birthdays. It's famous people birthdays. It's famous people birthdays.
Let's take a look at FPBs for August the 19th, shall we?
Sure.
All right. Pam's not convinced this is going to be a good one.
It's kind of meh.
Yeah, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel on a few of them here. But former MTV reporter Tabitha Soren is 59 years old today.
The kids today don't know what that is.
They don't. They don't know what a VJ is.
I mean, MTV was awesome, but had never heard of that particular person.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tabitha used to, that was hard-hitting news back in the day.
Yes.
She used to report on, who's doing drugs in the restrooms and the hotels and who threw a TV out the window.
Yeah.
And all
MTV News.
That's right. Kevin Dillon is 61 years old today. He's Matt Dillon's younger brother. He
Probably
played
better known as Matt Dillon's younger brother.
probably, yeah.
Sorry.
He played Johnny Chase on Entourage and was also in Platoon.
Okay.
John Stamos, 63 years old today.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Everybody knows who John
There's a name we
Stamos
know.
is. Yes, Full House and Fuller House. He played Uncle Jesse.
Uncle Jesse.
Yes, and his hair got a co-starring role as well in Full House.
Many memes about his hair.
Yeah.
And rounding out FPBs for August the 19th is Ian Gillan, who is 81 years old today, lead singer for Deep Purple, and Jesus in the original cast recording of Jesus Christ Superstar. So he got to play Jesus. He and Willem Dafoe have that in common.
All right.
Yeah, remember?
Yeah.
And never mind.
No, Willem Dafoe did not play Jesus.
He did. In Martin
did?
Scorsese's The Last Temptation of Christ.
Scary Jesus.
My wife appeared in a presentation like during high school of that show.
I'm sorry, who did?
My wife.
Your wife did?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
It's one of her claims to fame, so
Yeah.
All
I've
right.
heard about that from her and her twin sister over the years. And what big,
More than once.
famous movie stars they were back in the day.
Awesome.
Nice.
Ian also was the lead singer for Black Sabbath for a cup of coffee on their Born Again album.
Okay.
And that was it.
That was it.
There you go.
Okay.
Those are your FPBs. Now it's time for some OTDs. It happened on this day. It happened on this day. It happened on this day.
23 years ago in 2003, Newlyweds Nick and Jessica premiered, starring Nick Lachey and Jessica Simpson. The show didn't last, and neither did their marriage.
Oh, I had such high hopes for them.
I guess Nick likes the whole reality TV thing, because him and his new wife do a reality.
Really?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
It's Love is Blind, and then The Ultimatum. Is it The Ultimatum? Anyway, yeah.
Do you watch those shows?
Oh, God. Kevin's got me into all the trash TV.
Blame Kevin.
Sometimes I can't. Sometimes I'm like, nope, not today. Not today. 33 years ago in 1993, Kim Basinger married Alec Baldwin. They divorced in January of 2001.
I had high hopes for them, too.
I had really high hopes for them.
Me, too.
There was nobody bigger back then, right?
I know, yeah.
Right.
They were everywhere, and
Yep.
They were a power couple.
they sure were.
And they lasted a hot minute for Hollywood.
Yeah.
8 years.
8 years? That's
Pretty good run.
Yeah. 53 years ago in 1973, Enter the Dragon was released. Sadly, 32-year-old martial arts legend Bruce Lee died in Hong Kong just 3 weeks before the movie's premiere.
Great movie, too. I don't know if you're a fan, Steve.
Great movie, big Bruce Lee guy.
Yep.
He still lives on in infamy.
Yeah,
right?
he sure does.
Everybody still knows, no matter whatever age you are, who
Yeah.
Bruce Lee is and what he did. So
I agree.
Yep.
That was his dream, to become a movie star in America.
Yeah.
Right.
And he did it.
Yeah.
And then never got to see it come to fruition.
117 years ago in 1909, the first race was held at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That's where they do the Indy 500.
I wasn't there for that.
No, me neither. And that's the race where they pour milk on the winner. Yeah, a tradition that began in 1936 when three-time winner Louis Meyer requested a cold bottle of buttermilk after the race.
Buttermilk, that's rough. That's rough.
Well, I think options were limited in 1936. You couldn't ask for a lemon lime Gatorade.
But buttermilk?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So that tradition lives on to this day.
Okay. 167 years ago in 1859, French stuntman the Great Blondin crossed Niagara Falls on a tightrope, carrying another man on his shoulders.
Oh, the things they did for entertainment back in
Right?
the 1850s.
There was nothing else to do.
Imagine trying to get that pulled off today. What that would look like.
Right.
Yeah. No.
And who was the poor man, or who chose to get on his shoulders?
Right?
He was small, I hope.
Yeah.
You would hope.
Those are your FPBs and OTDs for August the 19th.
Whether you want a sit-down meal or a grab-and-go, Pat's Pizza in Auburn offers delicious sandwiches, pasta, salads, and pizza at family-friendly prices. Pat's Pizza, serving the L.A. area since 1985. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. at 85 Center Street in Auburn. Online at patsauburn.com.
Looking for a vehicle, but don't love the car shopping experience? At K&R Auto Sales on Center Street in Auburn, Frankie Campbell is known as your friend in the car business. That means no pressure, honest conversations, and helping you find the right vehicle for your budget and your life. Stop by K&R Auto Sales today and see how easy buying a car can feel when you've got a friend on your side. And now we shift focus fully to our guest in studio, Director of Operations for Panolam Surface Systems, Steve Thurlow. Steve, what can you tell us about what Panolam does? What's it all about?
So Panolam, we make laminate, high-pressure laminate. Mm-hmm. So basically, wall boards for countertops, desks. We make a whole bunch of things. One of our biggest claims to fame is we make bowling alley.
Okay.
So basically, all the lanes, if you've ever gone bowling in any bowling center in the country, we're an exclusive provider of bowling lanes for the biggest companies of bowling: Brunswick, AMF, Murray, U.S. Bowling. So if you're bowling on any bowling lane, pretty much in this country, unless it's still old, fully wooden lanes, you're bowling on Panolam.
Very cool.
We make bowling alley that ships all over the world. We make digital printed bowling alleys. We make bowling alley that glows in the dark, all kinds of different stuff. And we've been doing that. Panolam opened in 1965. We've been in Auburn. We were Pioneer Plastics back then, and then we have a bunch of different owners and things over the years. But we make a whole variety of laminate and bowling alley, which is pretty cool. A lot of people don't know that happens right here.
Yeah, I just learned that just now.
Yeah.
Really?
That's amazing.
You didn't know that?
I did not know that.
I didn't know. There's glow-in-the-dark bowling lanes?
One of our employees years and years ago.
Very cool. An employee came up with it.
Yep. So basically, have you ever gone moonlight bowling? They turn off all the lights and the lanes glow and all that.
Yep.
That's what we do. Nowadays, it's more digital. Or they make the lanes more white, and then they project pictures of the lanes nowadays. So we do that sort of stuff too. But the lanes still glow. If you go back into our thing in our digital print area, turn the lights off, our lanes, they glow all over the place.
Very cool.
And then we've been doing that. So people put all kinds of things on bowling alleys. Their family, the New York skyline, their company logos, and there's a million different things that people put on their personal bowling alleys.
They make them custom.
Yep. We make laminate that's anywhere from 20 thousandths of an inch thick up to 1 inch thick. Separators for bathrooms, countertops. We make conductive floor tile for like server rooms and that type of stuff. We do all kinds of different things.
All right. And I'm seeing on your website here some of the products you make, like thermally fused laminate.
TFL, yep.
TFL. That's what they call it in the biz, right?
Yeah, the TFL, that's an insider's term, I don't know if I should have shared that with you or not.
Now he has to kill me.
We also make FRL, which is fiberglass reinforced laminate. Fiberglass reinforcement, reinforced laminate, FRL, is used in a lot of hospitals, where there's fire concerns, We also do a lot of marker board and things of that nature.
Steve, I'm curious how you got your start at Panolam.
Well, it's interesting, right? Because I come from more of a hospitality type background. I'd never really been in a manufacturing role. I've owned my own restaurants. I've worked at Disney World as a server and a waiter and a bartender. It's where I met my wife down in Florida, brought her back up to Maine. We've been married 30 years, but I'd never really done manufacturing. This opportunity kind of presented itself. It was interesting. I've done it in management, for a number of years. It's different. It's different than anything I've really ever done. I started out as a supervisor in the fabrication department, overnight shift, 6:30 at night to 6:30 in the morning. It's quite an experience. Back then, that was in 2015. We had just kind of merged with that South Carolina plant. They kind of merged them in one. So we went from about 300 employees in our Auburn facility to over 600, and doubled our business overnight. So trying to figure that whole process out. So I started as a supervisor in the fabrication department, where we sand and cut and do that sort of stuff to the laminate before we finish the laminate to be shipped to the customers. From there, I was moved to the department manager of the fabrication department, and then eventually I took over the inspection packing department, and eventually I became the production manager. And then recently I was just made operations manager or director of operations. Our previous director of operations just retired. Great opportunity. I never really expected to be in the manufacturing world, but I enjoy it. I enjoy the people, the company. The company's great. I can't see myself doing anything else. So.
Awesome. Well, congrats on the promotion.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Fantastic. What was it about Panolam that appealed to you and made you want to continue your career with them?
I think the history, it's been there for a long, long time. It's stable. It's safe. It provided many people a long, good career, the opportunity to raise their families. You know, we take it very seriously. The employees, we've had 10-year employees of 20, 30, 40. We've even had people reach 50 years of service there. So it's stable. The company treats their employees good. They do a really good job trying to maintain, like everything, we have all of our challenges every day, right? But the people really care. We have a lot of good people, and when you work with really good people that are trying to figure out how to do better, it makes your job that much more satisfying, and they do a really good job there.
Sustainability is very important to Panolam.
Sure. We work with a few different systems that we're involved in in terms of sustainability. I think it's the FSC. We sign off that all of our material is traceable back to certain forests, certain wood, so you can trace our materials that we use in our plant all the way back to be sustainably grown, sustainably maintained, all that sort of stuff. So we do focus a lot on that. I mean, obviously you can't do it in every instance, but we do that absolutely as much as we can. And, it's become more and more popular with our customers over the years as that turns to the focus, right? So, I mean, we try to do everything we can, and we're doing research every single day to try to improve and grow that.
Panolam is also dedicated to giving back to its community.
Yeah, so, I mean, one example that comes to mind is the shooting in Lewiston, several years ago. As horrible and tragic as that was, we brought the owners to Panolam. We donated a bunch of the signs, the LA Strong sign, some of these other things in the bowling alley. You'll see on the back wall the panels, all of the digital panels, the prints. We made those. We were able to. So giving back to, that was one thing that we were able to do. Small little piece, right? But
it all adds up.
Yeah, to try to help. The hopeful sign, that was made by us.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
So, one small piece there. We do a lot of community involvement. We've worked a lot with the chamber and the community college to bring in that new Mainer community. Some of the things we're doing, we've made a deal with Western Maine Transportation. We provide transportation to any employee that lives in Auburn or Lewiston, free of charge. Bus ride back and forth to work. If you live in Auburn, Lewiston, you can take that Western Maine Transportation bus. That's for new Mainers or any employee. We also offer, English as a second language class at our facility 2 days a week. We want to embrace that community. We want to bring those folks in. They're a great resource. We would be in a much worse place off if that community hadn't come out. So we received the Governor's Award a couple of years ago for our community involvement from Governor Mills. We've received some, awards from the city of Auburn and the city of Lewiston as well in recent years.
Very cool.
As part of that.
Steve, what does it mean to you personally to work for a company that is so dedicated to giving back to its community?
I think you have to be involved in the community that you're in, right? You can't be in a company that's been here for 60-something years and not be involved in the community. Profits are great from that side of it, right? But if you're not giving back to your community, if you're not involving your employees, we live in this community, we work in this community, our kids go to school in this community, right? So you take pride in that. And it strengthens your employees and your, when they feel like you're supporting their home.
Approximately how many people does Panolam employ?
Right now, I think we're right up around 265 employees. We've been at different times upwards of 550 or more. 2008 during the housing, we dropped down significantly, and then we picked back up and we merged those things, and we've hung around 250 to 350 for the last handful of years, 7 or 8 years, right? COVID I think 40% of the business went away overnight during that.
Oh, that was tough.
We scaled back, but then we're scaling back. We've scaled back up, right? And, so overall, 250 to 350 employees is about what we average.
Is Panolam hiring right now?
Panolam is always hiring.
Okay.
We're always on the lookout for talent, right? I mean, just like every other company, turnover is inevitable. We were always looking for people that want to work. I think we have tons of the regular manufacturing jobs, and other areas too, right? We have cool programs for maintenance apprentice. You don't have to be experienced maintenance person. You can come in or start as a production employee. We put you through an internship. We pay for your schooling. We can put you all the way through, and when you're done, you can be a master electrician so we've done that for a lot of our employees. Engineering opportunities, a lot we like to promote from within. So a lot of management opportunities if you want to go down that road. Yeah, we're always looking for good talent.
Great. And what type of person makes a good Panolam employee?
Willingness to learn, ability to be there. We, of course, safety is our number one priority, right? So you have to work safe. You have to be situationally aware and make sure, because, laminate is, just like any other manufacturing job, there are hazards there, but we try everything we can possibly do, providing PPE and all that sort of stuff. But you have to be willing to learn, have a good positive attitude, show up for work, and that's it. We'll train you to do everything else. We can work with anybody as long as you have a good attitude and you're willing to work.
That's a big part of it.
Yep.
Yeah,
What's
absolutely.
your favorite part of Panolam itself? Like maybe the products you put out, but also favorite part of your day or your job?
My story is kind of like a lot of the people's. I'm the operations manager. I'm the director of operations now, and what an opportunity it's provided me and my family, right? I appreciate that they promote within. They recognize, that people that work hard and recognize that, and they give you the opportunity to succeed. And I'm very proud to work at Panolam. So.
And it's great to have such a large company doing such great work in our backyard.
It is, and it's rare, I think. I think it's more. I think more folks hopefully can learn to understand and involve the community more, because they give you back so much more than what you get. So
yeah. And this campaign that Pam started this week with the manufacturers coming on the show has really opened my eyes to what we have here.
You really don't think about it, right? You don't think about some of the things that are really going on in our backyard.
Right. Yeah. And it's not, these companies aren't really centrally located either.
Auburn, Lewiston are big manufacturing towns, and a lot of people don't even realize that some of this stuff happens right in our back. I wouldn't have never known Pioneer Plastics or Panolam was making all these things and doing all this stuff, and the third largest, manufacturer in the country, and all the bowling alley. You would never have known that, right?
Right.
Yeah, we're very fortunate as a community to have all of these places that not only employ a lot of our community members, but like you said, give back to the community as well. So I kind of understood that. I grew up, both my parents worked in manufacturing. I have worked in manufacturing. And I think a lot of people just don't realize, how important these manufacturers are to not only our community to employ people, but also giving back and being able to provide our community with things when it's in need.
Absolutely. And manufacturing isn't all sunshine and rainbows, right? Mm-hmm. It's hard work. It can be hot, it can be sweaty, it can, but you think of all the lives it's touched and all the opportunities it's afforded people over the years to provide for their families and do that. Without it, I don't know where everybody would be working, and you never really think about it until you start looking at it and start to have the conversations.
Yeah.
Steve, how have you seen Panolam evolve in your time there?
Panolam, making laminate is a very hands-on process, right? It can take up to 25 people touching paper, pulling paper, basically phenolic craft paper and melamine treated decoratives and overlays, but everything is pretty much done by hand, right? Somebody takes the paper, they transfer it on, they make the books of laminate, they goes into the press, right? So it's very hands-on, but there are things in the technology sector that we've done. We introduced back 7-8 years ago what we call a CPL, which is a continuous pressure laminate line. You take all those components, that treated craft paper and that melamine and that overlay, and it runs continuously through a machine, and it's continuously pressed. It comes out as a finished laminate. So what it takes 25, 30 people to do on the other, the standard process, 4 or 5 people could do. So we have that machine in our building. It was a big investment for Panolam, but it puts us in a great position. So things change. Screen printing, we used to do the screen printing for the bowling alley. Now it's all digital. Everything's all digital, right? Mm-hmm. So there are new technologies and new things, but so we try to look at that and embrace that everywhere we can. At the end of the day, it's still a pretty hands-on, labor-intensive type of process.
It probably makes things more efficient and more safe for the employees.
Safe and efficient, right? And that the less time somebody has to touch something, do something, whatever, ergonomically repetitive motion injuries. All it's, anytime you can try to eliminate that, you're better off.
Is there anything else about Panolam that you would like our listeners to know before we move on to the final segment?
Like you said, just reiterate that it's a great place to work, good people, good folks, and happy to be there. And if you're looking for something, and if you're looking for a career, stop by and we'd be happy to talk to you.
Yeah.
Where can folks go online to learn more about Panolam?
I believe they can go to panolam.com. You can still stop into probably one of the few places left on the planet that you can stop in, fill out an application, and talk to somebody at the same time, right? So our HR department's there every single day. You come in, fill out an application, you get an interview right on the spot in most cases, and
wow.
And a lot of times you may get hired right on the spot, right? So, I mean, it's probably one of the few places that still do that, but it just gives us another opportunity to meet as many folks as we can and get people in the door.
Dirigo Federal Credit Union is proud to call Lewiston Auburn home. Whether you're buying a house, saving for the future, or growing your business, we're here for you, right where you live. Visit dirigofcu.com and feel the difference of a credit union that truly knows LA.
All right, Steve, as we mentioned before we started recording, we close out the show with a segment called 3 Random Questions, where Pam and I will ask you questions that have nothing to do with Panolam.
Excellent.
We're just trying to get to know you a little better as a member of our community.
Sure.
All right, Steve, question 1 for you. Would you rather be handed $100,000 in cash, or would you rather flip a coin for a 50-50 shot at $5 million?
No, I would flip a coin all day long. I would never be able to live with myself. I would never be able to live with myself if I didn't flip the coin. It may speak a little bit about my personality, a little bit of a gambler and whatever, but $5 million would be life-changing, right? Yeah. I would never be just wondering all the rest of my life if I could.
And that's the term life-changing that comes up a lot for that question.
Sure.
And it's unfortunate, but $100,000 isn't life-changing anymore.
Not today. $100,000 probably was life-changing. Yeah. But I couldn't quit my job. I couldn't retire to some tropical island somewhere, right? All I could do is probably pay some money towards my mortgage and whatever, and go right back to work tomorrow.
Yes, exactly. It's like 2 brand new pickup trucks.
Exactly.
If you're lucky.
It's one brand new pickup truck if you buy,
It's a down payment on a house.
That's right.
Right?
But it's
like 30 years ago, I think a lot more people would think a lot harder about that
absolutely.
question.
And if you ask my wife, we might get and I told her that I was going to flip that coin. 30 years of marriage was a good run, but that might be right where it ended. Who knows? But we'd have to deal with that as we go.
Now, knowing your wife and being married for 30 years, do you think what do you think your wife would do?
Oh, 5 years ago, I think she would have taken the $100,000 and ran to the bank. Now I would give it, a coin flips. Not to that she might flip the coin as well. So.
Okay. Well,
love it.
You got that director of operations paycheck coming.
That's right. Yes. got that to fall back on.
That may change things.
All right. Taking out cats or dogs, what animal would you choose for a pet?
Well, I always thought that two things really, right? 2 animals. Little small, what do they call the pigs there?
The miniature pigs.
Yeah, those things are cool. But I always want those little tiny fainting goats.
Oh my God,
right?
Kevin wants one of those too.
How the hell could you not watch those things on YouTube and see those things and not say, I would like to have one of those running around in my backyard? Those things are cool. I mean, I don't know what the upkeep on any of that sort of thing is, but they're neat.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's my favorite answer so far.
Great entertainment value, I think, there.
All right, Steve, judging by your comments on the Red Sox earlier, I'm going to guess you're a sports fan.
Yes, I am indeed.
Okay. Question number 3. If you could attend any sporting event in history and have the best seats in the house, where are you going and why?
I would have to say Game 4 against the Yankees, 2004, right? During that comeback.
To avoid the sweep.
Right? I mean, it would have been great to be Game 7 when you finished the sweep, right? But in 2004, and that late inning heroics, David Ortiz, that whole stuff. How could you not want to be there for that? Yep. You almost believed after that game, and then by Game 6, you knew they were going to come all the way back if you were paying attention. Yeah. Super Bowls are cool. I never got to see Larry Bird, play at the Garden. That would have been cool. But I think that 04 Game 4 might have been where I would have liked to have landed.
That was incredible.
It was.
Yeah. Dave Roberts stole.
Yeah, the Dave Ross second base was unbelievable.
The whole world knew he was going, and they couldn't stop.
That's when they always say, right? When they know you're going to do it, and they can't stop you.
Yep. I've been a Sox fan my whole life. To me, that's the moment where it all turned around, because every year prior to, he would have been out.
Yeah.
It would have been, oh, well, next year.
Yeah.
But that moment, when everybody knew he was going, and he was safe, and then what happened after that was for the history books.
If my buddy at work's listening, who's a Yankees fan, he talks about that moment with a glass of whiskey in his hand, and still can't get up, which makes it even a little better. Makes it a little more sweet. So what an unbelievable run that was, and
amazing.
After the 86 year thing and the curse and the curse of the Bambino, talking about Babe Ruth, right, and all that stuff. Yeah, how could it get gone any better?
You're gonna have to come back next week just so we can talk Sox.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pam's gonna sit that one out. She wants no part of it. But thanks for taking me down memory lane, Steve. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks so much for joining us today,
guys. I appreciate the opportunity, and thank you for having me. And it was fun to do this on my first podcast.
There you go.
It was fun. I would do it again. Thank you, guys.
Thanks to Ruper's Beverage and Redemption for sponsoring today's episode. And if you'd like to be part of the Lydia's Lunch Bunch advertising family, reach out to Pam Ashby via email at pam@lydiamediallc.com.